Welcome back, and joining on the show now is Sandeep Bhan, CEO, Sime Darby Oils Trading. Sandeep, hi, good to have you. And I want to start with what's happened latest when it comes to palm, and that is about Indonesia. Export duty being cut by nearly $25. How big is this, and what kind of an impact do you see on exports from Indonesia, and how does it work for India?
Thanks for having me, Manisha. Indonesia reduced duty and levy by $25, which was expected, but exports from Indonesia had slowed down in first half of the December month. First half of the December month, and it will pick up back with second half, with duty being reduced by 25%. That means part of the exports which were going to happen from Malaysia will shift back to Indonesia, as Indonesia can be now more competitive in terms of exports.
Sandeep, what does it mean for India? Because we've seen record imports in this year, and while a bit of a slowdown is what we saw in the month of November and December as expected, but would this push importers into getting more?
For India, in terms of supply, there is not going to be any issue. If not Malaysia, Indonesia is there now. So India has got a lot of oil in pipeline.
Oh, yes. When you look at the overall palm oil prices, Sandeep, we've seen on an average 10% of decline in this year until now. While there are expectations of a rise in price, at least for the first quarter of 2024, how would you look at the year gone by in sense of price performance? And are you also, or do you also belong to the camp who thinks that prices have bottomed and we could see some more rise?
Yes, I do belong to the camp of prices being bottomed out. We did see a lot of challenging things this year. Particularly this year, the biggest factor was, besides the weather and El Nino factors, the major factor this year was China. China did not step in the way China used to come into the markets and buy huge volumes, which was not there throughout the year. So that was a bit of a disappointment. And there were also pressures in the Africa and Middle East, some currency issues. Then we had this soft oil flow coming in. Overall, yes, we are now close to bottoming out of the palm prices. And I do believe in that next year come back again in the prices.
All right. Do you want to stick your neck out and tell us on how much of an increase in prices are you anticipating in percentage terms?
I go by what all the analysts say. It would go close to 4,000 ringgit.
Okay. I also want to talk to you about the World Bank report, which says that the 2023-24 palm oil season, the production rise is only seen up to a tune of 0.2 million, while the average per annum is 2.5 million tons. Are we looking at lower production year going forward, whether it's about El Nino and other concerns?
Yeah, it definitely is the El Nino impact in Indonesia, which will see that Indonesian production is not picking up the way it used to. On an average, we would see Indonesian production going up by a couple of billion tons, which lately is not happening now, and more so this year because of El Nino. Malaysian production is not that expected to grow any strongly. It's just plus minus 200,000 tons compared to the previous year.
Sandeep, a final word on the Indian imports then, because this year we've seen record numbers. The prices were on the lower side as well. At these current levels, as the prices start to pick up, what's your sense with the kind of stocks that India has, and what is your sense on the imports that we could see in the next year now?
So for India, palm is a major import commodity. India doesn't have much of a choice. Palm is easily available, comes within 14 days. So Indian imports, which remain 600 to 700,000 tons, bare minimum quantity that they need monthly. It's the extra 200 to 300,000 tons, which keeps fluctuating depending upon the season. Now we are into a cold weather season. It might drop back to 700,000 tons average. So we should be seeing next couple of months 750, 100,000 tons every month. But after that, we should see it back rallying to 800, 900,000 tons a month.
All right. India can't do without palm oil, and the imports are only expected to go higher. Sandeep, thank you so much as always for joining us and explaining the duty change and, of course, the Indian import numbers to us. With that, let's take a short break. But when we come back, we'll talk more about the markets and stock-specific action on the other side.